Hello friends. Quite a few videos back, I think at this point, I filmed a video, a reading vlog for you guys, where I read books based on the fact that they had cute covers. They were books that I didn't have to know a single thing about them. I just saw the cover and was like, yes, you're coming home with me. I love you, I love you, I love you. And I would say that that video was pretty successful. We had 2 4s and a 3, which for me a 3 is not a bad rating, but I think 2 4s was pretty satisfying. I think most of my videos, I'm happy to have 1 4-star rating. So I wanted to do the opposite today. Today I'm going to be reading, in this video, we're going to be reading some books that, and again, this is subjective. If you see one of these books and you're like, I actually really like that cover, that's fantastic. I'm glad you do. But these are books that, to me, I don't think are cute. I think they're kind of ugly. And they're not books that I would just pick up. One of these books was unhauled from a friend and she sent it to me. One of them I got from a YouTube recommendation. Somebody had really recommended it, and I was like, that sounds good, I'll pick it up. And then another one of them is an auto by author. But if I was just at the bookstore and I saw these books, hell no would I pick them up. I'm just being so for real with you. We'll start with the one that, we'll go from least ugly to most ugly, but they're all 3 of them are like a 2 out of 10. On the cute scale, okay, in my opinion. So the first one is going to be The Broken Girls by Simone St. James, and from what I gather, this is about a school for naughty girls, troublemakers, illegitimates, and too smart for their own good. And it's kind of haunted, and then that's in a past timeline, and then we have a present timeline about a journalist named Fiona that's writing about the restoration of this girls' school. But this is not cute at all to me. I think this is very ugly. So I've also never read Simone St. James, and I think she has a decent amount of books. Maybe I'm making that up. She's got 5 other books at the time that this one came out, which was 2018. So I'm sure that there's even more than that at this point. But this will be one of the books that we read. Another book we're going to be reading is A Killer's Mind by Mike Omer. This is absolutely repulsive looking. It's so hideous. This is the start of a series, and this was a book that I got off of a YouTube recommendation. This is the one that my friend unhauled to me. This one I got from her YouTube recommendation by Beth, and she really hyped this up saying it gave Criminal Minds, which I do love Criminal Minds, and it did kind of feel like a more adult version of The Naturals, where we have our main character. Her name is Zoe, and something traumatic happened when she was a kid. There was these gruesome murders that really affected her, and you'll find out why when you read the book. And she is now working as a forensic psychologist and is going to go investigate some murders. So I love that type of vibe. So we have this one, and then I'm gonna be really honest with you, at the time of filming this, I've already read both of these. I just haven't had the time to film this. I listened to both of these on audio while I was working, and I haven't had the time to film the intro. So those have actually already been read, so keep watching to hear my final thoughts. And then this one I have not read, but this is I think one of the ugliest covers I've ever seen in my life. I think Freida McFadden covers in general are hideous. Most of the time they're very ugly. I think very little thought goes into the covers. It's actually kind of long for a Freida book. It's about 400 pages. But this is Want to Know a Secret by Freida McFadden, and I do collect her books. I know people have a lot of really strong opinions on Freida. I think that her books are like McDonald's, and I love McDonald's. You know what I mean? It's not good, but there's always this baby pumping these books out there ain't no tomorrow. It's just new book after new book after new book. So there's always something to reach for. They're quick, they're easy, they're convenient. That's basically how I feel about Freida McFadden books, and I have no idea what this is about. This is about a YouTube baking sensation, April, and she knows a secret to gooey brownies, blah, blah, blah. But if you keep watching her offline, you may find out some other secrets about April, secrets she'd rather you didn't know. Where did her son go when he snuck out of the house? What was she doing with her local soccer coach behind fogging windows? And what's buried in her backyard? So I guess we're going to find out what her secrets are. April's secrets are enough to destroy her. I'll make sure of that. So I'm sure there will be short chapters. Freida books tend to have really short chapters. Yeah, 55 chapters. There's mixed media, it appears. There's emails. I'm excited about it. So we will get through this. We have lots to talk about because I'll be really honest with you. I'm filming this update. I've already finished 2 books and I haven't even filmed the intro, okay? So, yesterday I listened to the audiobook for this, which is called A Killer's Mind by Mike Omer. And this is the start of a series. It's like the Zoe whatever series. And this gives very Criminal Minds. So if you like Criminal Minds, I highly recommend this. In this book, we have this girl, Zoe. And basically, she is working as like a consultant with the FBI. She's kind of like a profiler. And there is this like series of murders in Chicago where these women are being strangled and embalmed and then posed as if they're still alive. So they call Zoe Bentley to come help with, she's a forensic psychologist. Well, she gets there, she's helping this guy Tatum, who's in the FBI, and they kind of are, he's a special agent, and they get off on the wrong foot. Essentially, they're not really getting along. He is very, like, demeaning towards her and acts like she doesn't know what she's doing, that her job's not important, blah, 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 blah. Classic man behavior. But, like, she knows what she's doing. And as you're, like, reading the book, you do get these, like, points of view from the killer. Like, you get his mindset of what he's doing, and you're learning why he's doing it and what he's doing. I don't want to say too much because this is a thriller that like a mystery. I don't want to say anything. But there's also this underlying storyline that I loved, that was basically like years and years and years ago when Zoe was a child and something super traumatic happened, and that kind of is incorporated into the story, which was so fascinating. This did kind of give me like Criminal Minds / this felt like almost like a Grown Ups The Naturals situation. Because in The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, all of the kids kind of have gone through some sort of trauma that does seep its way into the cases, and her trauma is definitely seeped into this. And you learn about why, like, the things that happened in her childhood, basically, what does it say on the back? Okay, it says, revealing a chilling connection to gruesome murders from Chloe's childhood. So, yeah, it's just very fascinating, and I really liked this, and I gave it 4 stars, and I would definitely be continuing on in the series. It was really good. Then, we also read / listened to The Broken Girls by Simone St. James, which this book I've super been putting off. Like, this one, yes, is hideous, and I would never pick this up based on the cover. I picked this up off of a YouTube recommendation by Beth. But this one, I don't even know how I acquired this. Either I was gifted this, either my friend sent it to me, or I bought it. But it's hideous. This is not a good cover. If anybody looks at this and says this is cute, they're lying. But this, basically, we have our main character, Fiona, and we have a past-present timeline. This takes place in 2014. But there is this past timeline. This takes place in Vermont, and there's a school in Idlewild in Vermont where basically it's where they send like the bad girls, the ones that don't listen, the ones that are up to no good, they're illegitimate, they're troublemakers. They get sent there. Like, there is a girl who is a refugee during like Nazi times, during World War II. There is a girl, there's plenty of girls who are just like the bastard children of like powerful people. There's this one girl who, because in the 50s needing like psychological help is like craziness, like the end of the world, and she like walked in on her uncle trying to kill himself, so now her parents don't want to deal with her anymore because she like kind of goes mute after that. But we're following this storyline about these girls because in the present storyline we have our main character Fiona, and her sister was murdered years and years ago, and her body was left at this school in Idlewild, and the school's no longer being used, but the place is condemned and has recently been being purchased, and somebody is renovating it. And she's like, why? So she is dating a cop, and she's trying to break in to figure out what's going on here, and she wants to do her own investigating of this place, which is also haunted. And the beginning of the story, they dig up remains of this girl who they think is this woman. They do research and think it's this woman Sonia, and basically we're following Fiona going down the rabbit hole to figure out not only what happened to Fiona, but what happened to her sister and all of that. It was really good. It was very interesting, very intriguing, and I also gave this 4 stars. So like, so far, Ugly Books are really killing it. I'll just pop the info in about it here because the cover is hideous. I did listen to Death Row by Freida McFadden today just because I only had like 30 minutes left of work, and I had like an hour, and the audiobook was like 30 minutes on 3 times speed. So it was like, with listening to it at 3 times speed, it only took me like 30 some odd minutes to listen to it. And I gave that 1 star. Just so you know, that sucked. But we have Want to Know a Secret, which is objectively the ugliest of these 3 colored covers. Had to like double check what it looked like. And we will be reading that one next, and hopefully it's good. I hope it's at least a 4, because then we would have, I would say getting all 4s is like exceptional behavior for a video. So I'm very, very thrilled about the situation, and I'm having a really good reading month, honestly, and I'm really thrilled. So highly recommend both of these books. Which one would I recommend more? It's actually really tricky. They're kind of like, not like similar. I think I would recommend this one more, but I wish I would have read this physically. I think I enjoyed the audiobook of The Broken Girls more than I enjoyed the audiobook of A Killer's Mind, but I like the story of A Killer's Mind better, if that makes sense. In this book, Zoe has like a Jersey accent, but like it's only the audiobook narrator only does the accent in dialogue moments. So when we're listening, when we're like in Zoe's head, because I believe this is first person point of view. No, it's not actually. But when we're like reading from inside Zoe's head, it's like not in the accent, and I feel like it was really throwing me off. But they're both great. If either of these sound interesting to you, pick them up. Okay friends, I have been filming this video for so long that we finally got the audio for this came through before I got here too. I've just been kind of all over the place, and I'm in the middle of filming so many videos. I feel very chaotic right now, but I wanted to give you an update because we are about 50% of the way through Want to Know a Secret. Honestly, this book is quite boring. So far, I will in fact admit that I'm quite bored. We've got our main character, April, and she is like a YouTube baker. And one day, while she's doing her filming, she always sends her son out back to play. When she's done filming, she gets a text that's basically like, you don't know where your son is right now or something. And she goes out back and he's not there. She panics, she goes to find him. This is all like literally in the beginning, and he's at the neighbor's house. But then she just starts getting all of these very weird messages from this like phone number. When she tries to look up the phone number, it's not registered to anybody, so it's like a texting app essentially, and she has no idea who it is, and we're trying to figure out who in the town hates her enough to be wanting to essentially blackmail her. She finds out that they have a picture of her kissing another man that's not her husband because she cheated on him. She's like, it was just one kiss. Bitch, you still cheated on him. I don't really know what to tell you. And so she doesn't want that to come out, so she's kind of panicked about that situation. So far, that's literally basically all that's happened in the first 200 pages of this book. It's just her being stressed out that her husband's gonna find out that she cheated on her, and basically everybody's kind of acting super weird towards her, like her different friends in the neighborhood and so on and so forth. They're all kind of acting kind of shady towards her. and kind of towards her son. He's being kind of excluded from things in school now because everybody doesn't like him because, like, for example, somebody's kid's stuffed animal went missing and it was found buried in their backyard. They're like, we knew your kid took it. So it's very domestic thriller vibes. It's like fine. It's giving very 3-star, which is kind of how I feel about most of the older Freida McFadden books. The newer ones I tend to like give like a 4-star rating. I guess this isn't even that old. This is from 2021. But all these like extra hideous ones are, I tend to, I feel like it's also kind of older because Girly Pop comes out with like 87 books a year. But that being said, I'm going to continue on. This is definitely my least favorite book I've read in this video. I liked The Broken Girls way better, and I liked A Killer's Mind way better, but this is just like fine, simple, easy breezy reading. I listened to it while I was doing some work, but I don't know if I'm going to listen to any more today. We will see. It's really wild. It's super sunny right now, but it was literally thunderstorming like 35 minutes ago. Anywho, I'm gonna go finish this. Okay guys, we have finished Want to Know a Secret by Freida McFadden. And I did end up giving this 3 stars. The thought that the second half was, it was just fine. I've already listened to like 40% of another book, and this book's kind of already left my brain. But I already kind of told you what was going on in the beginning, and I don't super want to explain more going into the book because it is a thriller and there's twists and turns, and in classic Freida fashion, you think you know what happens, and then you get to the epilogue and there's more twists. But it was fine. It was a fun little time to listen to. It's a 3. It's not like, out of all the thrillers I've ever read, I wouldn't be going out of my way for it, and I definitely liked these 2 better. But I do think that the moral of this video is that even if a book doesn't have the cutest cover in the world, it can still be a really good time, as both of these books were 4-star reads. So they may be hideous, but they're still a good time. And for me, a 3-star is still a good rating. It's just not one of my favorites. But that's going to be everything for this Are Ugly Books Any Good video, and I hope to see you guys again next time. Bye!